The day it snowed tortillas. It's a story about a man who chopped firewood for a living. He was a leñador. He was a firewood cutter. And this man was good at his work. He could chop down a tree in no time at all. He would split it up to make firewood. He would take it to the village and he would sell it. He could make a pretty good living. But this man had never been to school. He didn't know how to read or how to write. And the poor man didn't seem to be very bright. He was always doing foolish things that would get him into trouble. But he was very lucky. He had a clever wife. She always knew how to get him out of the trouble his foolishness had gotten him into. Well, one day that man was far off chopping firewood way up in the mountains. At the end of the day, he started down the trail to go back home, and he saw 3 leather bags by the side of the trail. He walked over and opened up the first bag. It was full of gold. He looked into the second bag. It was full of gold too. So was the third one. He carried the 3 bags of gold home and showed them to his wife. She said, "Oh no, don't tell anybody you found this gold. Some robbers must have hidden it up there in the mountains, and if they know we have it, they might even kill us to get it back again." But then she thought, "Oh no, my husband can never keep a secret." And then she came up with a plan. She said to him, "Before you do anything else, I need you to go to the village and to buy me some flour. I need a lot of flour. Bring me 100 pounds of flour." The man went walking off to the village, grumbling to himself. He said, "Oh, I've been working up in the mountains all day long. Now I have to carry home 100 pounds of flour." But he bought a big sack of flour. He lugged it back home for his wife. And she said, "Thank you. You have been working awfully hard. Why don't you go inside and lie down and rest for a while?" He liked that idea. He went into the house, he lay down on the bed, and right away he fell asleep. As soon as he was asleep, his wife took the flour. She started to make tortillas. She made one batch of tortillas after another one. She kept making tortillas until the stack went clear up to the ceiling. She turned the whole 100 pounds of flour into tortillas. And then she carried them outside and she threw them all over the ground. Well, the man was so tired. He slept all through the evening. He slept all night long. He didn't wake up until the next morning. And when he woke up and he looked outside, he saw that the ground out there was covered with tortillas. He said to his wife, "What's this?" And his wife said, "Oh my goodness, it must have snowed tortillas last night." He said, "What? Snowed tortillas? I've never heard of such a thing." She said, "Well, you are not very well educated if you've never heard about it snowing tortillas. You had better go to school and learn something." She made him get dressed in his Sunday suit, and she packed him a lunch, and she made him go to the school. He didn't know how to read or write, so they put that man in the first grade. He was a big, strong man. He could work all day long with an axe, but he had to squeeze into one of the little chairs that the first graders sat in. The teacher would ask questions and the children would raise their hands. He didn't know the answers to any of the questions. He got more and more embarrassed. Finally, he couldn't take it any longer. He jumped up and stomped out of the school. He went back home and picked up his axe, and he told his wife, "I've had enough of school. I'm going to go and cut some firewood." She said, "That's just fine. Go right ahead and do your work." And then, sure enough, just about 1 week later, the robbers came to the house one day. They said to the woman, "Where's that gold your husband found?" She acted innocent. She said, "Gold? I don't know anything about any gold." They said, "Come on, your husband has been telling everyone in the village he found 3 bags of gold. They belong to us. You'd better give them back." She said, "What? Did my husband say that? Oh, that man, he says the strangest things. I don't know anything about your gold." They said, "Well, we'll find out. We'll wait here until he gets home." The robbers stayed around the house all day long. They were sharpening their knives. They were cleaning their pistols. In the evening, they saw the man coming home, and they ran over and grabbed him. They said, "Where's that gold you found?" He scratched his head. "Oh, that gold. My wife hid it somewhere." "Wife, what did you do with that gold?" She said, "I don't know what you are talking about. I don't know anything about any gold." And he said to her, "Of course you do. Don't you remember? It was just the day before it snowed tortillas. I came home with 3 bags of gold. And then don't you remember, in the morning you made me go to school?" The robbers looked at one another. Did he say it snowed tortillas? And his wife makes him go to school? Ese pobrecito está loco. That poor man is out of his head. And they went away thinking that everything that man said was just a lot of nonsense. So the woodcutter and his clever wife had 3 bags of gold. And they never could find out who the gold really belonged to, so they just had to keep it all for themselves.